All right. Hello, everybody. It is I, your host, Badger Wild, and we are back once again with Space Engineers, and we are currently building a missile destroyer. Been doing these build streams. Y'all seem to really enjoy them. So now we are just continuing on with the build stream going on. Hello there, yeah, and hello there, Imperial Scout Trooper. We are back once again. Like, see it, you are first today. And sorry if I sound a little um what is the proper word? Reserved right now. I'm really tired, but I decided we're going to do this anyway. So I've been looking at a lot of this stuff here, trying to figure out how I can make this room. I've got some tricks and stuff I wanted to do to this area. We also, for those who are wondering, this is or for those that are new and haven't been here, this is the engineering area. We've got engineering done, and we have a server room finished down here. We'll have to modify this light at some point. And then up top, we have the overhead engineering, which oversees everything that's going on. And we're now getting ready to work in here. So now we have a staircase that can go all the way down and is going to have an open section that's going to allow us to walk through here and hopefully into um, what I hope is going to be a main hangar bay. So we can move supplies in and out of the ship. And that is only taking up about, we're hitting about the halfway point of the ship. We're going to have a lot of room to do some other stuff with. So the missile destroyer is turning out very good. Now the way this missile destroyer is going to work, we're going to have a ton of missiles. We're going to have a ship that we can just start launching. I did a meme a couple of days back where the meme basically was like, yeah, that's a assload, that's a shitload incoming. Well, there it is. That's how this thing is going to be built and designed. So currently right now I got to figure out a wall right here, sort of a wall block. So we're going to go back in, just get started here. And if I can remember correctly, because I've been playing a lot of Helldivers recently. Oh boy, what is this nonsense? All right, let's put that back to where we were before. Actually, let's get that back to where it was. And we need something to go here. I think the best thing to do would be perhaps something like this. Be nice. But then I've also got to figure out this problem area down here. So we've got to get this other area figured up. So let's go ahead. We're just going to take just these two sections out here, pop up, and we're going to make this similar looking. And then all we need is a block down here. So when you come down, you've got this nice little area. And it looks good going down in that. I think what I might do also is we may take this completely out. And we'll just run Pipeworks all the way up. Flip that over here so I can make sure I've got the right Pipeworks in there. And we'll just run Pipeworks all the way down. And that'll help out. That'll just make everything look kind of uniform. So when you come down to this area, and then we'll have something to work on right there that'll be hooking into. And then this area will look very interesting when you get done with it. And then we have this area here, which will go into a living quarter area. Then we will be able to go up here. I want to be able to take this up one more block or two more blocks. I'm not sure. Eric Evans is here. Sup, Badger? Hey, guess what, Eric? You have now become the number one fan, I think, of this live stream. I don't know how you pulled that off. Imperial Scout Trooper, did you see my suggestion about the air vent idea? No, I haven't. I have yet to get on Discord today. I have been running like a madman the last couple of hours. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And today y'all got Badger, and Badger's unwinding with y'all today. That's what we're doing. So yeah, fun times. Um, yeah, I haven't had a chance to even look at the Discord today. Normally I check it out, and if I feel the need to answer something, I will. It's not that I don't want to. It's just half the time things are happening so fast now in the Discord. It's also where I'm looking at my YouTube feed, and I have so many comments now. Um, I look at it right before I go to work, and I'm like, there's like 30 comments now. And then this afternoon, I think there was like 60 on various videos, and I'm reaching a point where there's too many of y'all to converse with within a certain time frame. So I'm gonna have to take a moment later, sit down, and just look at this and kind of work through it a little bit. It's a good problem to have. Before people sit back and say, "Oh, whoa, oh no, 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 this is a good problem to have. I have no problem with this as an issue." It's one of those things that you know you're things are turning out for the best because you're actually getting there's actually a right now we're at a point where how do I put this? I'm at a point right now where I'm having the good problems on the channel where right I'm having the difficulty of keeping up with everyone, and that's a good problem to have because it means the channel's growing. So eventually there's going to come a point where if I can, I'm hoping I can get to a point where I can do more of this, and I can actually take it like a break from the job every so often, my actual job, because I have a lot of leeway with my job because I got a kid and everything else. And boss usually understands that, and they understand I don't like doing this anymore. So, but and they don't know I'm doing this nonsense here. But if I reach a point where financially I can do this more, I can take more time to work on this. What I would love to do is have somebody who could take these live streams and edit them down into like a small deal, but I would have to pay them. And I don't make that much money on YouTube. Like I've said, and I'm not complaining about the money situation. Money is just that's just a problem you run into when you're doing something like this. It's just an issue. And there's usually no real way around it. When you're doing YouTube, here's I will tell you all right now, do not quit your day job. You never ever want to quit your day job. You want to be you don't want to sit there and say I'm going to do this and this is the only thing we're going to do. And if you do that, you're going to be sorely disappointed because YouTube is it's not a sprint. You're not everyone sits back and talks about the grind and everything else. You're not sprinting to the finish. You are marathoning to the finish. And if you don't pace yourself to the finish, you will get burnt out very quickly. You don't want to sit up there and be like, "Oh my gosh, no one's like for the longest time you when I was doing this, there was like I think 2 months I had no subscribers and was just basically putting up videos on PlayStation of me playing 7 Days to Die. Those videos are still up by the way. And I was getting nowhere on that fast. There was nothing happening in that aspect. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. So we got these two areas. I don't know what to do with these two areas. Huh. I don't know what to do with these two areas. I'll have to figure that out later. I think I may want to put some type of Jeffrey's tube in there though, so I can hop down there and mess with the pipes there at any point in time. May do that later, may not. I don't know. Um, I do know that when I get up to a certain point, right about in here, we're going to have to install some type of hub for the ship so that we can get in and out of it, so we can hook into stations. I read through some comments here. Grexion went back to number one. Sup, Badger? How's it going? Suggestion: you should have a backup ladder to get around. Yeah, I should have a backup ladder to get around. Or hmm, or I could have a fast system in place. That'll be easy to do. Let's see here, because we are going to be doing a system in place. We're going to put one deal here, and then number 9. We're either going to use. I'm either going to do this passage or this one, whichever one looks best. This one, I like this one. We'll do this. And I've done this before. The cool part about this is we'll have this down here. And so when I'm ready to drop down, we can just drop down a level, and that'll open up a whole level. So we can actually set up a drop zone here to come out of that zone here. And then somehow I'll connect that. I'll put either a locker room here or something in the effect. So when you drop down, you can just drop down into this tube down here. And then we can have, let's see here. Let's go back to number 9. We'll put that there. And like I said, we'll just have these fast tubes to get through the ship at a pretty decent speed. And I think that's going to have to come right up to there. So the way this will work is you'll jump down in here. If you want to, well, I have no idea where we're supposed to go here. There's nothing here to go to. I'm going to have to take that center part out right there. And that should like close automatically. And so you'll be able to jump down, hit that. When you drop here, you can just run right off. The problem is I don't need that there. And if I open that up, it'll just drop right down there. So I only need probably one. We'll get rid of that. Is that still connected? Yes, it is. And we'll add another tube there. I don't think that'll kill you. All right, let's see. Yeah, that doesn't kill you. That's just a fast tube to get down to another lower level. We can drop here if we got to go further down. And this drops us right at engineering. So we're right at the engineering area. We can actually close that door up right there. There we go. And then we can access engineering. Engineering will just have this door open constantly. That'll prevent it from going anywhere else. So yeah, fast tube system. Nice to have on a ship. So now, how am I going to do this next part? Let's look over here. And let's grab number 5 again. I'll put another one of those there because I want to see what I'm going to do. There we go. There's another one going up. And then we just need secondary going up. And there we go. We've got a nice long back on this. We can come up here and we've got a nice section to start the main bridge with. So now we have all the laddering in for the bridge and everything. I need to get some stuff figured out here so I can move back and forth on it, which is going to require some interior work. That's the fun part. Let me read a few more comments here. Eric Evans, just need good solutions. That's true. Grexion, do you have an idea of how you want the missiles on that destroyer? Like, are you planning on having them in silos or pop-up launchers? Um, I'm thinking silos, and I've got an idea to build a series, if I can do it correctly. It's going to have four-shot silos, so we're going to be able to pump 16 missiles out. Or no, not 16. Is it 16? Yeah, it's 16. So we'll be able to pump 16 missiles out at one time if I do this properly. That's going to be the kicker. If I can, I will try to set that all up to a single grid, or set that up the missile grid to a singular system, and see if I can't run it with one, maybe two welders apiece. But it'll give us 16 missiles that we can launch off from this thing vertically, or not vertically, horizontally, and they'll launch out the front so that we can pull the trick of where we can see an enemy at a distance. We can just kind of pull back and then just start artillerying, just lobbing missiles at long range. So we can wear down an enemy before they get close, and then we can take care of them with assault cannons and whatever else we got. So, what to do with the rest of this empty space? So we got some empty space here. I don't know what to do with this. Hold up. Let's see. Number two. Okay, that's looking nice. Now, what about this here? There we go. A couple extra spacesuits inside of a large spacesuit system. Let's take that out. Let's take that loose. Let's try that instead, and we'll do one of these. That's even better. All right. So what do I got this for? Is it just for this? And if so, can I get away with something else here? Um, hmm. Let's take that out and see what I'm left with. Okay. Just got that there. Let's it's kind of like a small prep room we got here. We got a decent sized prep room that I can probably, thinking about it, I just realized, where is number 7? Well, no, I can't put lights all through here. That's not going to work. Okay, so what about this bad boy? All right, so oh, come on. Can't put anything there, but I can put a light or two here in the back, maybe, just to make that work. I don't want to put too many lights on here just so I don't accidentally mess something up. Okay, we've got those two lights. I don't. It seems like a little overkill on the lights. The problem. Oh dear lord, I just deleted most of my stuff. The problem here is. Oh wait. Frick, we've got other interior blocks. What am I thinking here? We could also turn this area. Where is that block? I'm gonna have to add it on here. Uh, couch block, this block, that block. I think number 6 is what I'm gonna work with, because that'll be the kitchen block, and I could easily make that work. Well, I say that. Let's see number 5. What's number 5? Oh, it said aquarium. Yeah, we can make that work. Hmm. Yeah. No. Let's see. Number 4. Let's see what they got here. Okay, that's not get me where I want to go. No, 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 no. No. Where is the... Now hold up here. Let's go back. Did I not look through the entire thing? Number 2. All right, there's the armory lockers. Ah, here we go. An inset bookshelf. That looks better there. And I have a couple copies there. So we've got a nice little library here we can access books on, and then we have our mug of coffee when we come up. So it's just where the guys in here can come on out and you're like, all right, we gotta get out of the engineering room. We gotta check this stuff out and take a look. Let me see down here. What else we got going on? Suggestion: have a forward torpedo launcher. Might do. That's how this is going to work. It's going to have probably 4 small missile launchers that'll launch the Makos, and they'll just scream right down in there and just take out whatever we need them to take out. So let's see. What should I make next? Well, number 1, we got to move some piping, if I recall. So let's see about our piping situation here. So we do have to pipe into these tanks right here. I forgot about that. Okay. Let's see if we can find our pipes here. Number 4. Where is? There we go. Conveyor tube. And then I may do some type of pipe or something right there. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think that'll work. Will that work both ways? So see, I could put a assembler right here. The problem is the assembler is not going to work both ways. And I kind of want to put the assembler down in the cargo area. So let's see, number 5. Let's just see if we can add a Nash large. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to put a pipe in there. We'll just put a pipe in. That'll connect all that up. And then back to number 4 here. And then number 5 again, just add that little pipe in there. I'll do something underneath that. So now you can see everything filling back up. So we've got our piping done to there. And just realized, well, I was going to say I screwed up there, but I guess I didn't. Okay, so that's not an issue. Let's see, over 4 again. Now, there we go. I'll flip that around there. And then as we get up to this area, I am going to need an air vent. Now we'll use the classic air vent, and that will ventilate this particular area up here, so there won't be any other issues. So I am going to put a something there to prevent players from falling down into that. And all I need now is just something to go on top of this to cover all that up. Um, let's see here. We're going to do this simplistically as I can. Oh yeah, I can hook it up right there. We'll just run that there. That'll give us a zone we can work with. And then you can now run right up there. So let's test that out real fast just to see how it, oh, did I do that right? Pull this off. So, okay, we can run through here into this, and we are getting up into the upper area of the ship. And here we are, up on the bridge. All right, so now we got that figured out. I could add one more block there for this, but I need that to transition somehow. Oh yeah, have them launch out sideways, Grexion. No, we're gonna have them launch forward, sideways. So they're gonna launch horizontally forward on the ship. That way, I can, like I said, the one thing I want to do is take advantage of the starting up the ship, and then as it's slowing down, start launching the missiles, and they'll just go faster and faster. They'll go faster to slower, and that'll get us from point A to point B. Have some bottom-facing launch tubes for those fighters. Yeah, the F302. Another suggestion for the hangar bay for the F302. You could do a hangar bay like the Battlestar or Stargate ships. Um, yeah, you could do a one like that. One of the cool things about the F302 is you can put it in a under you can underslung the F302s in there. So we could have an F302. We could have um, utility craft, things of that nature that'll work. We'll just have to see what we can come up with. Number 5 right here, we're going to drop another, go back to this original system here. There we go. Oh, we got some pipes and stuff going over there. And then this will lead into the main hallway here somehow. I plan on putting some kind of light system here in place and having that lead into a main hallway. And then the crew quarters and stuff will be up here in the front somewhere. And if I can, I'll make all this, I'll have to rework a lot of this and make it all work good. But for now, this is where we're at. Now to figure out what we're going to build next, I think we're going to work next to the hangar bay. Because, oh, no, not that. I like that. Number 4. Because one of the things I want to do is that's going to have to be a fairly large area of the ship, and we're going to have to work some stuff over here to make everything work. So the way I've got the hangar bay set up right now, it's not going to be uh, a small hangar bay, but it will. It's not going to be a large one by any real standards anyway. So, well, it might be. We're going to have 5. Um, we're going to have 5 points across. The kicker is I don't know if I can get a F302 in there like that. Is that possible? Go up with it. Let me check here. F302 may be too big. I know this. I know the Saber would be just perfect in terms of size. Where, oh, where are the gates? Now the kicker is give that a moment. Oh, there it is. Come on. Taking its sweet time. All right. Now the kicker is, can this thing go through there? The answer is probably going to shock us. Well, that'll fit. What about that? Nope. Nope. That's not going to fit. That is not going to fit through there at all. Yes, we can't do that. Hmm. And that's about also the length. Now we could do something long ways. It would slip in long ways, but it's not going to go in that way. Like I said, we may not use F302s with this because we are at a shorter range. The Saber would probably be a better option. I don't know. We'll have to see. May just do a sideways hanger because looking here, we're going to have this top section up top, so we can actually have a fairly nice spacious hanger right here. Let's delete these side sections here and here. Let's just drag this thing about to a rough idea of what we're going to want. There we go. Okay. All right. This is a rough layout of the hangar. Let's go ahead and, well, hold on. Let's just rough out this floor real quick. So I can see just how big this can be. Okay, so we got this. I wonder if we should put side hangers in or something. Eric Evans, like a fighter plane, Scout, Imperial Scout Trooper. That's why you have an external hangar bay. Yeah, we could do an external hangar bay. There'll still be a lot of areas I can place guns and stuff. I may have a quick launch system for two F302s in the front. This is more like a utility hangar where we can have crates and stuff set up. Continuing on, slipping sideways, eh? That's what she said. Yeah, it is. Imperial Scout Trooper, or you make a flight deck for quick launch. We could now. I say this, The F302, we could put two F302s on this thing because the F302 does have a connector on top. And all that would require is connecting it up to a system and then having a launch zone. How do I put this? Right above where the cockpit is, so that when the player dropped down, the launch, you would drop right into the cockpit and you just jump right in. They won't be very protective, but you can launch. You can quickly launch them. Yeah, Imperial Scout Trooper, true. Yeah, that's what we'll have to do. Probably, I could probably actually set this thing up, considering the length that we're going. There's an idea. Let's see how many blocks we're going to take up with the F302 here. So from that connector, we're going to take up about, I want to say 5 blocks, maybe more. Yeah, so it's going to take about 5 blocks for the F302 to get into position. Um, we could build an underslung launch bay in the front of the ship for the F302. It is one of those things I'll have to figure out how to make it work when we get down there. So it'd be a tight fit. I don't know. We might could fit 2 or 3 F302s right there. May at least two. I know that. We could at least get two. So we'd have a small fighter wing of F302s that could launch their own missiles, and then we'd have to have some way to up here so when they come in with their wings mounted up, we could just rearm them right then and there and then send them back out. That'd be an interesting method of doing that. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take an F302 and we're gonna just drop it right there, so I can keep track of this thing and keep track of size. Far as here, the utility hangar. Doing that, I can now get away with, um, if we're doing the utility hangar, which is where we're going to be putting stuff in, I could get away with an underdoor. Yeah, we could do this. Like so, and like so. And the cool part about this is we're not even nearly touching this area. So this will just be a massive hangar bay. And we could, damn, that gives me a whole lot of room for a utility hangar bay. If I can keep a utility ship within about 2 blocks, we can have both a mining rig and a fixer ship all in the same spot. Hmm, that's pretty good. I like that. This also gives me a massive bay to put everything in. Do like a look up the half break class space battleship from Gundam. That ship using something like that to launch mobile suits. I'm wanting to do a carrier with a launch system. I think that would be pretty cool with a catapult. I want to do a catapult for a carrier that we could mount the F302s on, and the catapult would just lock it into the deal, and then have a system in which when the whole system shoots on out there, it just launches a ship, launches a fighter like no tomorrow. You can get it up to speed rather quickly, but I'll have to build that, and it'll have to be big. So this little utility section right here, that'll open up. And then I can put some stuff on top of this, like some railings or something, just to keep people from falling in. Let's look at the railings. Let's pull out some railings here. Number 5. Probably a central rail so it doesn't get in the way. Something like that. Or see, this is one option. Or do a railing right here. It's just a safety thing when people are running around the ship and everything. Or right here, but this is going to limit the amount of room people can operate in inside of an engineering bay. And then I need to add some engineering sections here. The other problem also is if I put down the cargo crate that I want to put in here, that's going to give us some issues because we're going to have a series of small crates with access. Oh, wait, I can't do that. There's another. We're going to need that for something else. So we're going to have to work without that. Let's just not do that for now. Okay, so, frick. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get back to the piping so I can install the other stuff I want. Okay, that there. Now, when you come off, we're going to do this. I'm going to try this bad boy out here. Have an access point. And then we're going to have just a series of cargo containers going on through here. Like so, probably with another access at the end. And we'll do this for both sides. But let me see here. Number 4. There. And this is our access, and that's our cargo containers going on through here. They look like regular cargo hatches on the end of them. Could also put a set of doors here so these could be accessed, but there's really no point because you have access to these. So that lets us take cargo through there. That'll also let us add our utility ports for our 2 utility craft, which we're going to have to build both of those at some point. Let me see here. Grexion posted a picture of the ship I mentioned in your Discord. Well, I'll be looking at it here in just a minute. Because we're getting up to 12. My nephew is in for the next 2 weeks, and so I promised him I'd go play Minecraft with him. He's only allowed. His mom is allowing him to get on his Nintendo for 1 hour a day. And so I told him, I said, "That's." He's like, "I can only get on for 1 hour a day, Uncle." I said, "Okay, that's cool. Here's what we'll do. We'll just save your hour for my lunch break, and then me, your cousin, my daughter, will come in with you, and we'll all 3 play Minecraft on your Nintendo." He got the Switch too. I told his mom not to do it before anyone sits there and mouths, "Oh man, I can't believe he's got that Switch too." I told his mom. She didn't think it was a big deal, so I'm just like, well, there's nothing I can do about that. Sorry, there's not a lot I can do about it. Looking here, this is going to be an interesting build-up because we have, we're going to have to figure out this section here because that's going to give me a couple of visions. I need to get that figured out now, and I have an idea. We'll slap that in, and that'll give us just a bit more headroom right over here. And depending on how big the utility craft are, that'll give us a nice little extra hangar bay that gives us an extra half a block of distance so we can load up the one vessels and then drop them out of here. And we'll probably have to add a section around here. Yeah, we'll have to add something around the side. Ooh, oh Lord. Hell, I'm tired. Let's go ahead and get this section here done so I can finish up the dealio here. I just realized something else. We're going to put a temporary block here so I can install an air vent. We're going to put more of an industrial one here. Yeah, but this large joker right there, and I'll add something to that effect later. Let's go back over here. Number 4. And we're going to bring it back to about there. There. And then number 6. And yeah, I'd love to put a big old gigantic cargo container. This is actually more than enough for cargo containers. Oh, that didn't go in right. What the heck? There we. Nope, that's not right either. There we go. All right, now we're good. So now we have a nice little area we can walk around in. We can walk through here. I'll add a couple of shelving in this area. So as you drop out of that tube there, you're going to have shelves coming up of just parts. We'll have to do something here with that. And that is how this thing is starting to come together. I do want to fix this floor somehow. Let me add a block there. Let's take a look at those new floor blocks, because those things have been very interesting. We have the new floor blocks. Let's go from here. And let's see what we can get away with. What have I got? Huh. Actually, I tell you what we need. Where's the caution tape? We got caution tape right here. Hmm. We'll do that, I suppose. There we go. And we can do that to the other side here while we're at it. And I just realized that is red. If y'all look at it, you can see there's a red. Damn. Yeah. Did it move? No. Well, it's not there. That's for darn sure. Let's hit the X. Control and X. Oh boy. Yep, that's what I thought. Dadgummit. Ah, dang it. No, not that. Yep, that didn't go as well as I'd hoped it would. No, not like that. There we go. And we'll put that right there, and then we just got to put the doors back on. There we go. Like I said, hangar and cargo bay is starting to look good. Now we'll have to work on this upper area and add some type of light system in place, but that'll be a simple fix. Also need to, before I do anything else, hook all of this up to the main grid. So nothing stupid happens between now and then. Simplest way to do that, we're just going to grab a regular block and just hook it in right there. It'll be like a spot weld or something on each side. So yeah, there we go. So we've got the hangar bay. Go in here. This one area, we have our engineering room, and we have the engine room itself, which I have a nifty idea for that. We have the entranceway to the main area. What the hell have I done here? Oh, that ain't gonna work out. May have to put a light right there. Actually, let's do this. Because this is the central point. I also need to figure out how long the utility ships are going to be. We're going to have to make them pretty small. Just obviously. And I've got an idea here. I got an idea. I got myself a plan, Arthur. Arthur, I got myself a plan. If it works out, it'll be amazing. How did that not connect? Come now. I thought that was a pretty good impression. I guess the game didn't agree with me. So, the plan here, because I want to make this room look interesting, obviously. Let me see if I can pull this off. Do I have that on here? I do. That's going to be wild. Ooh, that's going to be wild if I can pull that off. Let's try this here. Actually, no, we need to make this as detailed as possible. Nope, that ain't going to work. Hmm. Why do they torment me so? Actually, hold up. Let's go back to the straight ones. And we'll put some kind of something in the back here. And then we'll come up at a sharp angle here. Or we'll break that a few ways. The idea Yeah, let's see here. Here. Lights. Where's my lights? I don't think I have all the lights opened up here. Yeah, I do. I just gotta find that light bulb. All right, where's that light bulb at? There it is. Number 8. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Now, a couple of lights pointing downward here. That'll work out. And then we just need something to go in the back right there. Imperial Scout Trooper got to go. That's okay, man. Let's see. I think something similar would work nice on your story. A bottom catapult. Um, yeah. If I were to put, but see, the thing is, even with a catapult launch system, I'd almost let me think here for a minute. I don't know if that'd be a bad thing, honestly. Just having a straight up. The problem with the catapult system is I got to have some way to get my men in there into the fighter. Will the ship have escape pods? Uh, well, this is going by combat standards of space engineers, so there's not really a need for um, escape pods in a ship like this because space engineers, you have a suit. I don't see a reason for escape pods. That's Imperial Scout Trooper asking. Also, Grexion saying 3DS is the superior Nintendo console. Yeah, yeah. I was looking at something the other day, and someone said you have to understand now that the Nintendo Switch was the last Nintendo console you could own. Think about that for a moment. As we all reel from the realization that Nintendo don't want you to own a darn thing anymore. They want to be assholes about everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up this top part because we got the hangar about figured out here. Let's go to number 3. Is that correct? Mm, there we go. That'll work. And then number 8, because number 8 I'm gonna want. I'm going with that in there as well. Switch that around in there so we have a nice kind of semi-open design to the hangar bay here. We'll be able to see a lot. Wait. Why? Why is this? Oh no. So you see how that's red? That means something's not lining up properly. And oh boy, I think it's that. Can I do it here? Can I do it here? Yeah, I can do it here. That just is not connected. That's all that is. Dadgummit. Okay, that's not connected to this ship, so we can get rid of that. If it's just... Oh, dang. I know what that is. I know what it is. It was the. It was that one block there not having a place to hook into. There we go. I think I'm going to want 3 here just in case. And then back to this. We did before. 2, 3. That's the thing about doing this. You got to watch what you're doing constantly. And like I said before, if it looks good unpainted, it's going to look amazing when you start putting paint on here. Number 5. we'll leave that like that. But that's how the hangar bay is starting to look. It's what we're starting to get. And it's looking nice. We have a nice storage area here. You're going to pop right out in the back of storage. This will be the emergency entrance here. Pop in the back of storage. Now, one of the things I wanted to do inside of here, I just realized I wanted to add uh somewhere in here I was wanting I may move the let me think here. I may move let me do something here really quickly. All right, yeah, I got that hooked up. We're going to cut these out here. Everything's still working. I'm gonna add. I need to figure out how I'm gonna add this in. How am I gonna do this? Let's add a conveyor here. And how am I gonna do this without mucking everything up? Hmm. Oh wait, there's my answer. Where is the assembler? That's basic assembler. Here's the monster assembler. Let's look here. How's that going to go in? Okay. So that won't work there. Ah, that's stupid. That is so stupid. Hmm. Let's take that out. Install that there. And we'll have the room to give this thing like one good upgrade. It doesn't need a lot. Okay, so what we need for the assembler here. I have a speed module, a yield module, and the power efficiency module, which might be the better option, giving it power efficiency. Really, I don't need the assembler there. I just realized that. Hmm, that's annoying. Let's take that out for a minute. Oh, shoot, that's another thing. Just remembered I don't have gyros in this thing yet. I'm gonna need probably like 8 or 11 gyros just to get this thing to work properly. Back to we may have to put the gyros up above this nonsense. That might be the easiest way to do that. They'll just add more detail to the engineering room. That'll plus yeah, about 8 good gyros. That'll do fine. See, I'm worried about other crap now. All right. Let me look here. I do need to run a refinery on here as well, so it, like, how far back can I take this? Jeez, that's gonna be fun. Okay, so we'll do this, but I also want to have access to all this stuff for later, so we're gonna add a conveyor here. Number 9. Oh, wait. Yeah, I could do that. I just thought of something I could do real quick. Let me one conveyor. Getting tired again. 2 conveyors. Okay. So we need some refinery capability on here. Number 9. If this will work, I'm not surprised it's not. I'm not surprised it isn't going to work. Bunch of crap. Just, trying to make all this fit. Grr. Hmm. Stick that there. What is this connected to? Okay, this doesn't have any connections whatsoever. I'm trying to figure out what the bottom here is for. No, it is connected. Is it? Yeah, I think that is connected. I think I can remove this here. And I'm going to go grab a refinery. Because a light refinery, a basic refinery, is exactly what we need right now. So we have basic refinery. And from here, I could add something down here at the very least. And I could technically have a platform that has a ladder that comes down to here or down to here somehow. I'm gonna say, oh, I know what I can do. F it, I know what I can do. Epiphany. I can set that there. Let's go to the half ones with ta-da, ta-da, and Ta-da! Looky there. Now, upper engineering here can, while you're in here, you can access this. While at the same time, we have all this stuff going on down here at the bottom. And I can cover this basic refinery up here, which is all connected, mind you. It's all interconnected. I can actually cover this bottom section up here with a series of spacesuits. So now we have a start section, so we can hop into space equipment, head over here, hop into one of our two utility craft that I'll have to make really, really tiny. And then we can hop out of here and go do what we want. And that'll work out great. And unfortunately, it's 12:17. We've gotten a lot of the hangar done. More of it will get done later. Ah, shit. Hold on. We'll have to yank this out again. All right, and the V. Come on. Hey, look at that. We fixed that pretty quick. So yeah, I got to figure out something for the back end there that'll make that look interesting. So we've got that kind of backdrop area, but other than that, that's looking pretty good. That's looking really good. And then we kind of need something to come down here, hook in. I don't know. I may actually kind of curve this out and just add a secondary deal on the bottom. And then what I might do for the front, we may. Here's what I'm thinking. I've kind of not got the room I need for the front to launch two catapults with. If I'm looking at this correctly, we're just going to need a block in the middle. We may need like 5 blocks on either side. We could put two F302s mounted up, stitch them up to some point defense grids on either side, and then hit a button and just launch an F302 right off of a catapult and just have them locked into a catapult. So like the F302 would just sit there where it's supposed to be at. We can hit the catapult. Will be like a series of 3 pistons or 4 pistons. And when they take off all at once at max speed, they'll get down to the very last point, and once it reaches a certain point, it'll unlock the locking coupling, which will then just launch the fighter out there. As it goes, the pilot will then activate the wings, and then you'll have patrol craft that can go with the destroyer. So then it can do more long range mission objectives, and it'll have two fighters as escort that it can deploy on its own. So it's not technically a carrier, it's got two fighters it can deploy as a destroyer. That'll help it out a lot. It's that and then skinning it. And I got to figure out how the back end of this thing is going to look when I get done. We are also going to have to put some lighter stuff, and we're going to have to also add the missile launchers on here. I might subgrid those. I might not. It just depends. I may subgrid the cruising thrusters, which will be the ion cruising thrusters. We've got um, stuff all around the ship to just add thrusters galore all around it so it'll work. I am getting tired, unfortunately, folks. We'll have to pick up again later. This is one of those big, big builds that is just going to take time. So the uh, we got the hangar done. We got engineering almost finished. As we start skinning the ship, I'll be able to start filling in the other patches of the ship. But we've got those two sections done. And yeah, once the hangar is finished, I think the front of the ship is just going to be a catapult system because that does sound like a great idea at the end of the day. And then above the that we can set in some other stuff and add a couple of cannons. I think we're going to give this thing two artillery cannons up top, and it's probably going to have a series of 8 assault cannons as well as 4 point defense guns, and then the rest of the ship is just going to be like its main armament is going to be the missiles. That's how it's going to attack its targets. It's going to be a long range missile boat, basically. Um, we're just adding features because at the distance of 60 blocks long, and we are still in 60 block limit, we're going to be able to. Now, here's the other kicker. If I cannot put a catapult system in, because if that's not possible, and we can't put the catapult system in while remaining staying inside the 60 block limit or 60 block length, then the least I'll do is add some sort of underslung locking mechanism for the F302 so that you can just hop right into them and then you bring them up to position, fold the wings up, then lock them in place. So that'll be what we'll do. So let's read off a couple comments here. Let's see. Have the Grexion here. Have the fighters in an internal hangar, and they can lower down to the launch catapult. Mm, that's going to take a whole lot of extra stuff. When what I could do is just launch the fighter off the catapult if it's possible. And that's why the saying, if we don't own the games, then piracy is not illegal. So pop is so popular right now. Yeah, that's true. If you don't own your game systems, then piracy isn't illegal. Um, I have kind of come to the conclusion that I want to make a video game at some point in time. I just got to figure out how to do it. I've got Unreal Engine and I've messed around with the one deal. I know what kind of game I would love to do. There's several games I'd love to do. And I've got ideas on how to do a lot of that stuff. And I've seen what companies have done, what they've employed into their games, and what they have done to piss people off. And I realized that what players want, and I can say this with absolute confidence, players want the ability. Well, I'll put it like this: players want to make the game their game. They want creative freedom. One of the things I would install into the game would be a custom paint system similar to Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 was awesome because it gave you the ability to put custom paint skins on your guns. So you could put everything. I had an AR-15 style, like the M16 style or M4 style rifle of the era, and I actually put a General Lee paint job on it from the Dukes of Hazzard, Confederate flag and everything on it. And it looked nice. I got compliments for that gun because some people would stop and they'd look at it and they go, "Hey, that's a pretty cool skin you got," and I'd ship them over the skin sometimes. That's what people want, and I do something like that. Badger, you should make a form of EWAC ship that can be stored on your destroyer that you send out for patrols that will alert the destroyer about incoming hostiles. Yeah, the F302s will probably do that if I put the two F302s on here, or give it the ability to have another two ships, small fighter craft. Normally, you put something like a small. Well, I may do that with a carrier. We'll have a small interceptor for the carrier, but for this, I can probably make two individual bays just for the F302s that can weld up new missiles and rearm the F-302s when necessary. So that won't be too big a deal. Just use a basic refinery. You could have a docking rail going along the bottom where fighters dock. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The least I'll do is have a docking rail on the bottom with a series of welders so that we can weld up, because there'll be a couple of welders on this thing to get us more missiles set up. When we get done launching the first salvo, then we'll have to get more set up. And then also having the F-302s just means we've got an extra 8 missiles that can be launched from the F-302s. Then have like a tube going down to the cockpit of the fighter. I'm making a variant of my new shuttle that will serve as an EWAC ship on my warships, as it will be small and not take much space. Yeah, that'll be the thing that'll have to be done. We'll have to put something on there that's small that will not take up a whole lot of space, so we can still launch that sucker and do a whole lot of fun with it. But that'll be the kicker. That'll be the fun part, figuring all that out. The really fun part is when I get to is when we start doing like really big ships. But one of the things I'd love to do like a stealth ship, because I got all kinds of tricks I want to do with a small block stealth fighter. And we can come up with, I can do all kinds of just nifty things with that to mess with the other guy. Just a whole lot of cool stuff. But we'll have to save that for some other time. Anyway, like I said, we're getting this ship done. We're going to be probably next time, I'll probably finish up the hangar bay to the best of my ability of what I can do now. And then we will start work on living quarters. I think will be the next thing. And then from living quarters, pilots, where they're inside, the two pilots will be able to go right into the drop bay, which is where the F-302s will be looking. I think we're going to do a drop bay. If I do a catamaran style, it's going to be almost impossible to keep it going. And I kind of want to make a Corvette with a catamaran style. So we'll probably do that. Um, After that, we'll be adding thrusters wherever we need them at. I think one large thruster in the front that's hidden will be plenty. I'll find a clever way to hide that. And then we just got to put thrusters all over the place and then add a set of subgrid cruising thrusters. And someone gave me an idea on how to do that without using the thrust percentage system, but also using the new event controller to make that work even better. Which means I may go down there and modify the one room, the server room, so that we can have that just down the server room and just have it go. And then probably have. Oh wait, I remember what I was going to do. I was going to add some triple barrel assault cannon turrets to the top of this thing, and then add two large artillery turrets on either side. That's what I was going to do, because the triple volley, that would be 6 assault cannon turrets, and then I might be able to add another 2 on the bottom, which would give us about 12 assault cannons just pounding away, and then salvo fire those so that they're just launching a constant, almost a near constant stream of fire. And then we're not going to need a railgun, because we just need 2 artillery turrets to threaten another ship as a destroyer. It doesn't need to have it. Turrets are not going to be its main arm. In fact, I don't know. I don't know if I want to put artillery turrets on here, because the thing already out maxes range with a bunch of frickin' missiles. I mean, we're going to have 16 missile launchers if I can make it work. So there's really no point in having a. There's no point in really having artillery turrets on there or a railgun, because this thing is going to smack its target with missiles mostly. And the missiles are going to be a nightmare to deal with anyway. I mean, to launch them, all we'll have to do is just have the ship start slowing down, and then just start detaching missiles one right after another, and they'll have a small thruster which will push them out there for a little bit, and they'll just thrust themselves on out to a maximum speed. So I could modify the missile's launch system, which the Mako can be modified anyway, with just on its its software. So you don't have to mess with any of the hardware. So we could modify the software on the Mako to get a percentage boost all the way to max. So the missile just shoots on out of there like nobody's business, and then percentage it right back down to zero when the new system engages. That way, after a couple seconds, it'll launch all the missiles out of the tubes. Then they'll go back down, and that's when the AI will activate, and the whole system will then turn, and the missiles will start going after their target. Since I don't have a thruster on the front of the missiles, they will just simply float on out there as far as I need them to go, so I can outrange a railgun if I have to. That's one of the advantages of missiles that people don't talk about. You can simply put a power source inside of a missile, launch it at long range, and put it in low power mode, and it just sits there and just loaders cross through space until it and just floats on over the target till it gets to a certain location. And then you can activate all the thrusters, and they'll just fly right into the target. It's not a difficult thing to do. But yeah, that's where things are really going to get fun when we start coming up on it. Banned for honesty. LOL. Mag plates. Mag plates. What would I use those for? Mag plates. What would I put those on? Hmm. That's a pretty good idea. I may do that for a cargo ship or something. I've pictured my three current shuttle variants for your in your Discord. Yeah, I'll take a look at those, Rexion. I will. But yeah, that's gonna have to be it because it's 12:32 and I've gone on way too long. I'm gonna have a tough time getting up tomorrow. I'm gonna try and live stream every night tonight this week, just for the fun of it. Um, because I'm trying to get as much done as possible. The only issue I'm gonna have is getting the other content. I've got two video ideas. I am going to do a probably a ship review this week. Someone told me how I could improve upon using subgrid thrusters with the vessel now because of the event controller. Something about that enables us to do it. I'm probably going to check that out as well. If I succeed at that, that'll be a video. And then I'm trying to get content built up for the next couple of weeks because, and I may try to get all that done in a night. I'm trying, so that means Tuesday, Tuesday I'm going to do that. Wednesday I'm probably going to run all that because I have a trip I'm planning, and me and the missus are going to go see some of her family. So I'm going to have to go do that, and I won't be near the computer at all. So for that week, something will be going on there, and if I can, I'll get some other stuff done. I have to get back on Lost Planet because I haven't finished that playthrough up. That is terrifying. Stealth mag plate unpowered. Wait, really? Okay, banned for honesty. You're gonna have to, if you're not on the Discord, you need to get on the Discord now, and you need to thoroughly explain the stealth mag plate idea because that is something I will probably subgrid the hell out of. If I can hide a ship with mag plates, that is something I'm gonna have to look into really quickly. If it will work, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll test that theory out. But anyway, folks, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for showing up here and checking out me building a hangar bay and cargo room for our utility craft. It's been fun, and I'm going to be heading off to bed now. And as always, I am Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty. Remember those people in Texas because they really could use some prayers right now. That's the one problem I have is I don't have all the resources I wish I had sometimes. Because you see something like that happen, and the first thought to my mind is, damn it, if I just had like an Iron Man suit, you could go down there and really help some people out. And that's just the first thing that comes in. And I start thinking about like all the stuff, like if you had like a helicopter or something to go help those people. That's one of the things that really bugs me sometimes that I don't have the resources I would love to have to help some people with. But it you sometimes you just don't have those capabilities. Sometimes the best thing you can do, like I said, is just send some words of encouragement. As Bruce Lee always said, words are like magic spells. They can lift you up and they can tear you apart. So you don't tell yourself anything negative because you're cursing yourself. And sometimes that's all you got to do. Send some people some good words and help them out. I don't Discord, but I can link you a video tomorrow. Thank you. Good night. Okay, Grexion, can I get that video too? Yeah, I think we all would love that video. That would be awesome. Anyway, thank you all for watching. As usual, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.